Well, hello everybody, and welcome to our home. Look around. And welcome to our very first ever video.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean it's the first take. We've tried this several times already, but we're hoping this is going to be the one, the take that takes. We're Curt and Sandra Lovelace. We live in Maine. Recently, however, we lived in Prague in the Czech Republic, where we were ministering to families, which is something we've done for over 30 years. We've ministered to hundreds of families in countries all over the world. I also was pastor for 30 years, mentor, an encourager, and well, Sandra has been involved too.
Of course, as a pastor's wife for 30 years, 30 plus. And so during those times, we were caring for families together. I, in particular, for the ladies in the church, holding Bible studies and things like that. And then with our international ministry, which some of you know about, with LifeWork Forum, we've been caring for families around the world. Some in Asia, some in Africa, a lot of families in Europe, and of course around the United States as well. Teaching, doing ladies' retreats, things like that. But most recently, we are the authors of a book titled Children in Church, Nurturing Hearts of Worship.
And in a sense, that's our topic today. We do want to talk about nurturing hearts of worship. Mm-hmm. And it's a difficult thing most of the time. The world gets involved in our families. There's input all the time. But you've probably noticed that Christmas cheer, if you will, comes earlier every year. As we make this video, it's not yet Thanksgiving, and already the terrible Christmas music is on the radios. All the Christmas stuff is out in the stores, and it's just all around us already. And it makes it hard to keep Christ in Christmas, which should be our goal.
Yes, it certainly does. And one of the things that I've noticed is a big help is focus. Having a specific focus, being very careful for our focus when we're talking about the and being involved in the battle for our children's hearts and minds. As a matter of fact, I noticed it myself this year, my own lack of focus, as we were out and about and having all these various impressions going on, the promotions in the stores, Christmas trees decorated. It seems like it happens earlier and earlier every year. And I find it helpful to just stop, to pause and consider what's happening. And it happened to me this year. I think it was last week. And on the way home of an opportunity to go out and do errands and things, I was noticing the emotional draw, the thing that was happening to me while we were out in the midst of those things. And I thought, I think that I'm going to borrow a tactic from the marketers this year. And so when we came home, I went upstairs and managed to find the box that had our nativity scene in it. And that's what you see here behind us. The reason is because this year I thought, I'm not going to wait until Advent, until December, to pull out our decorations to help me focus, to help us focus. I'm going to set it up early. And so now when we come back from the hustle and bustle of the world out there, we have a visual reminder for us right here in our own home.
So we've got that visual reminder, but if you're like us, you still have troubles finding the time to sit down and contemplate Christ, who is supposed to be the focal point of all of this. Mm-hmm. It's because Christ came and Christ was obedient that we can have salvation. Mm-hmm. Well, it's not hard only to find the time to study, but we hardly have time to sit down and have dinner together as families these days.
It's really true. It happens to us, even though there are only two of us. Now we do eat at the same time. But But what actually happens there is we talk about the things that have to get done or the things that we've been working on that we have gotten done, and various things like that, and not really contemplating the upcoming season. And this kind of a daily reminder of the focus is the thing that we want to do in our lives, want to have in our lives. And if it's difficult for us now, I'm thinking back, since it is difficult for us now, I'm thinking back to how it was when our children were young. That was really difficult.
Yeah, and there are other issues beside time. For instance, what kind of materials do we use? There's always the question. Now, we can just read the Bible, and certainly I'm in favor of that. But sometimes, particularly with the younger children, we want something that'll help us to focus on what does this Bible reading mean? What do these Bible readings, Old Testament and New Testament, point to with regard to the Christ, the Messiah who came?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we've had conversations about this exact same thing with families all over the world. One time in particular, I remember in Romania, we were talking about other topics, Christian living and things like that during our sessions. But then on the breaks, parents were talking to us directly, asking us, how do you celebrate Christmas in a Christian way? And that's one of the things that, the topic that we're talking about today. So how do you find materials that are going to be relevant to the coming Christ? That's an issue.
Now, Sandra talks to the moms when we go and do these seminars and weekends and retreats and things. And I talk to the dads. And it's not just the moms who have these issues. The dads, especially as leaders of the family, have issues with finding the time, finding the materials, etc. And I'll just put in a little biblical plug here, and that is that fathers, there's no place in the Bible that says become a leader in the family. We're just told, hey, you are the leader, and you have a choice. You can be a good one or you can be a lousy one. And I suggest that having time, making time to be the expert, so to speak, in Bible study, in understanding, and in even choosing right materials along with your wife. This is a part of your biblical leadership.
Yes, we've had these kinds of conversations all across the world. And we're especially excited to be able to talk to you about it because...
Hold it. Time's getting a little short. We've gone on a little bit. We've been a little long-winded. Well, one of us has been a little long-winded.
Wait a second. What about the special offer? I thought we were going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah. That is kind of the point, isn't it? We have a valuable offer that we want to make. We want to make it available to you. And we're going to talk about that the next time on our next video. Yes, there will be one if this one doesn't explode before we finish. But what we would like you to do is, so we can let you know when it's going to happen, is to subscribe to childreninchurch.com. You may be looking at this video in a number of places, but go to childreninchurch.com, go to the subscribe area on the upper right-hand corner, and we'll let you know when the next one's going to happen.
Well, wait, before you go and do that, it would be a great benefit if you would just go down underneath the video and take a minute or two to write a comment. Let us know what you think about this video, how you're interacting with the culture even now as you consider the upcoming Christmas celebration, because we want to hear from you.
Yeah, and maybe we'll be forced to incorporate some of your ideas into the next video.